not attempt the techniques you are about to see without consulting a professional. On this episode of The Dog Whisperer.
The firemen have not yet prepared Wilshire for the danger. So he doesn't know where he's going, he's just going.
He ran in front of the fire truck. Oh my God.
He's such a sweet dog, and then it's like, what has this dog become?
The anger is just so overwhelming that you can't stop him. It's unbelievable.
I'm just scared.
When good dogs go bad, there's one man who's their best friend. Cesar Millan.
No dog is too much for me to handle. I rehabilitate dogs, I train people. I am the Dog Whisperer.
The doorbell rang. We went to the door. There was about a 10-year-old girl and her parents. They had said, "We have this dog. Would you like it?" We're like, no, not really.
They took him to a local pound and found out that within a week or so, if they couldn't find a home for him, he'd be put to sleep. And they said they were at the end of their rope, basically, and asked us if we could rescue him. He's my little buddy. He's everybody's friend. He wants to play and have a good time. But like all dogs, he has some issues. He chews and wants to get up in everybody's food. Just a lot of behaviors that we can't have with the fire station.
First few nights he barked like all night long. He wasn't firehouse trained. When he had to go, he went no matter where he was. We went on a call. Well, he got into the kitchen, climbed up onto the benches, and then got up onto the table and basically ate our food while we were gone. I felt like that Three Bears story when you came back. You know, who's been eating my food? First, you know, we start pointing fingers at the other firefighters. Well, Wilshire, when we saw him, his stomach was just engorged with all the food that he had eaten off our table.
A long-standing pillar of Los Angeles, the Wilshire Boulevard Firehouse attracts lots of visitors.
Come on, you want to go play with the kids?
But Wilshire the puppy greets everyone, even kids, as if it were a 4-alarm fire.
A young family bringing their kids to see the firehouse, and when we opened the door, Wilshire had run from the kitchen all the way up front and hit this kid right in the chest, knocked him over into his sister.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah, well.
And there are the parents looking at us going, what is this? And, you know, I'm apologizing the most, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but this is our new fire dog.
He doesn't know his own strength, huh?
What we're concerned about is if we take him to schools or just in the fire station, if he can't basically follow the firehouse rules, and we all have rules, if he can't follow the rules, we'll have to give him up.
The firemen placed an emergency call to dog behavior expert Cesar Millan, who has always admired these rescuers for their calm and assertive behavior in life or death situations. How could all these brave American heroes have allowed a 3-month-old puppy to take over their lives?
How you doing, guys? Okay, so who's giving the rules to him? Like, who gives the rules to the pack here?
Well, that would be me and Cap McLaren.
Yeah.
But they know the rules.
Yeah.
This guy, we can't talk to him.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to us, because if he doesn't like me, what I'm telling him, he runs over to Ryan, and Ryan lets him sleep in his bed.
Right.
So
it's your fault, Ryan.
Yeah.
This is a pack of guys who are required to be physically in shape, mentally balanced to deal with a fire.
But this particular fire department was not actually doing this with Wilshire. This is a good example of a dog that is only 3 months old, and he already owns a fire department. Now, if humans allow a dog to climb all over them, because a lot of people say, oh, he just want to be in my lap. But in the mind of a dog is he's dominating you. He's on the top of you doing that. That's right. That's what I saw over there. So it's nothing wrong putting a dog on your lap. It's just if a dog is with the head up, he's very proud, getting the affection, which that makes him dominant. Right? So if he dominates grown-ups, it makes sense for him to dominate smaller human. You guys are giving affection before structure. A structure, then affection. Because he's not having rules, boundaries, and limitations on a daily basis. He's getting affection, 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 affection. Every once in a while, somebody gives discipline, but it's not consistency. So he becomes confused.
Have you been here? I think that's what we've been doing.
Well, yeah.
Tomorrow there'll be 16 different people, so that.
Yeah, but the same way you guys leave messages for the other, the other shift. The same thing, you're going to leave the message. This is how we're going to behave with Wilshire. And, it doesn't matter if you come at 3 in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. The dog is not going to see you that way. The dog is going to see you as how you greet him. Do you greet him like a pack leader, or you greet him like dog lover? Dog lover go, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, Wilshire, come on, babe. Come on, Wilshire. Come on, Wilshire. Come on, let's go get you a cookie, Wilshire. You know what I mean?
No. I do exactly what you say. All right, Wilshire, nice to see you. And I start to play with him. Right. Because it's kind of a break in my day.
Yeah, which is good therapy for the human, but the dog is not getting the benefit of your leadership.
Right. Until Caesar mentioned it, I never looked at it that way. Because we would come back from fires or medical calls, and the first thing we would do is reward Wilshire. Hey, how you been? We did exactly what he told us not to do. We grabbed him, wrestled with him, happy to see you. We were kind of almost killing him with love.
But you're not telling him, hey, I know I haven't seen you in 3 hours, but I'm your pack leader again. And again, and again, and again, and again.
So you establish that each time you meet the dog.
Every time. Affection does increase. Come on. See the automatic? The automatic is... Are you the rookie or something?
No. We need to train him.
You guys need to be trained. It's not the dog.
So the dog's fine, we get the problem.
Yes.
We're going to get interrupted here for a second.
Yeah. Oh, you got to leave?
This is a busy firehouse, and emergencies are at stock and trade. Caesar's consultation is interrupted by a call for a medical rescue.
Light force only. Unknown medical problem. Light force 29.
During the commotion, Wilshire manages to escape and heads right for hectic 6-lane Wilshire Boulevard and all its dangers.
The firemen have not yet prepared Wilshire for this. So he doesn't know where he's going, he's just going.
He ran in front of the fire truck. Oh my God.
They were panicking. And that only makes Wilshire more powerful and less understanding about why we don't want them to run through that door.
Thank you. That's our biggest, this is our biggest fear. No, that's why we shut the doors. He runs out and look, we can't hear him, we can't see him. That's a big blind spot. I mean, we can't see cars that park in front of us. I mean, this poor guy back here driving in the rear, his vision is completely blocked.
Dogs don't see the danger. What they see is a reaction to the situation. We react in panic, nervous, fearful, and all these things that go through us to save their life, we actually setting them up to get hurt. So the exercise at the garage door is a very important exercise because it's life and death situation here, Touch this one. I practice energy, body language to let him know that that's my area. Wilshire needed to understand that every area here belongs to you. There you go. This is how they respect, because the areas belong to pack leader. And until he's invited to go over there, he's not welcome. There we go.
That's what we want.
It was amazing where he stopped right at the door. He was able to control him in minimal amount of time, whereas we would have been chasing him down Wilshire.
Which we have.
Yeah.
A few
and
times.
So,
God, he almost knows there's an invisible line there, doesn't he?
Yeah, very good. That's right.
You
Then
know-
you're back, that's right. And you don't have to give affection all the time. That's right. Very good. That's right. Okay, so you're right there. Go for it. Protest.
Is he protesting?
Protest. Why? Because we're taking his place away. It's like a kid. Nah! Right? It's a little temper tantrum right there.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
normal.
what the barking was, a temper
That's-
tantrum?
Especially because he came with a different energy to accomplish the behavior. Puppies normally don't resist leadership. Puppies always receive leadership from the day they're born. We are the species that don't practice leadership over our dogs on a daily basis, and this is what our dogs become: frustrated, dominant, hyper. What we have here is a frustrated puppy. That's right, touch, that's right. There we go.
How fast do you want it?
Slowly in the beginning. We needed to create activities within the environment. Right here they have 2 treadmills, so perfect situation for Wilshire. Let's hold it right there. The most important part is that you follow your instincts. You know this dog can actually take the challenge.
Whoa, he's quick.
Yep. There we go. A little faster. A little faster. See all this protesting behavior, that grabbing the leash, and that is frustration. The reason why we have a little bit of a fight from Wilshire's part is because he had pent-up energy from days before. Remember, when we give affection to a dog, we add in energy. And if we don't remove some of that energy through exercise and psychological challenge, we just add in more and more and more energy. So we are making him hyperactive without rules, boundaries, and limitations. Now you have a little food that I can use, just a little, just to redirect him from the floor. So we're just gonna redirect. We want him to pick up the sand. There you go. He picked up sand. See it? Now the nose pick.
Boy.
Higher the speed again, just a little bit. And you have incline as well, right? Yeah. Can we get in some incline? Yeah. See, if he stays right there, he won't. Yeah, that's the perfect speed. That's better. We gotta remove that, just like you guys stay in shape because the physical and the psychological workout that you do. That's right.
No, I thought that's a good idea because we're out there every day. Every morning it's a requirement on the Los Angeles City Fire Department that the members exercise every morning. So why we don't have Wilshire out there is our fault. It won't happen again, though.
So the food is not going to be forever, okay? It's just in the beginning just to create the pattern. And eventually, he will come to the treadmill and ask you to turn him on. This is a good addiction. Exercise is a good addiction. Okay, so we're going to let him go in so he can make the mistake, and then I'll show you.
One of Wilshire's red flag behaviors is his dominance in the dining room. Caesar wants to put out that fire once and for all. Of course, Wilshire's bad table manners can be traced to those pushover firefighters who gave in to his begging for food.
I'm going on first. But normally when you guys are around, he begs around or that he sticks around. Yeah, that's the beginning of him learning not to touch the food from pack leader. Because as far as he's concerned, you guys allow him to get really close to the food.
Caesar, going for the donuts.
It doesn't take long for Wilshire to sniff out a box of donuts someone left on the floor.
See, we didn't take the donuts away. We're asking him to stay away from the donuts. So this way you can leave food on the floor or food, whatever, the brain learned to stay away from it. So another dog would have come and bite. See it? Do you see it? Well, you turn around and look at me. Right. So I redirected you from looking at the donuts. But I didn't hurt you, didn't I? No. No. It's just a physical touch that redirects your attention.
He's sneaking up on you.
Huh? There, you see it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That was him on his own. In order for a dog to be respectful around food, somebody have to claim it. And this have to be the job of everybody. All firemen in this firehouse have to become pack leader of Wilshire. In this way, they all practice the same philosophy, that he can't get close to the food until they give food. That's what he's going to learn, that the food belongs to the fireman. Wait, let's make it a little more difficult, okay? That's more difficult, right? Because that's chicken, it has more meaning than sugar. Now, don't take it away, just put it on the floor and you make sure he stays away. Right there, touch. That's push. There we go, that's touch. And remember, look, the mother touches the neck, okay? Nope. There we go, good job, there we go. You know, that's another challenge. This is psychological. There you go, this is it. So he is being respectful to the food. Right. Sure. Do you understand the simplicity behind this?
It's almost too simple.
In just a matter of 30 seconds, he had the dog stop and wouldn't even go for the food. So it was amazing to see that. We can't get firemen to do that.
That's right. There, see it? See that invisible boundary that he's created? Good job, there you go. Boom. Yeah, he's giving up on him.
Is he? Yeah.
Right? See, I'm giving affection because he didn't took it from the plate. I give it to him.
You won't get up and go and try and get it.
He might. And you remind. He's a child. He's a pup, you know. Of course, kids need the reminder. But he's understanding, okay, food on the floor is not mine. It's when they give it to me. Look at that. Look, see that? That's him on his own. So he has the ability of really become very respectful.
I don't think I've ever seen him lay down in the kitchen.
There you go. All of you guys are pack leader. If 20 human beings play leadership role, then it's easier for them to move on. Look at that. This is great. He's actually falling asleep in front of the food.
We all know specifically what our jobs are. And what he was telling us today, what I brought away from it, is he's saying, use your fire department training and take charge of the dog.
Thanks to Caesar's suggestion, the 45 firefighters of the Wilshire Boulevard Firehouse leave messages for one another to help them all stay consistent with Wilshire's rehabilitation.
What we did is we put signs up in the fire station that if you want Wilshire to go outside, he's out, just plain out, or bed, Wilshire, go to your bed, and off, Wilshire, so he wouldn't jump up on people. Now that he understands the commands, he's actually responding to them very well. He's staying out of the kitchen, he hasn't eaten any of our food, which is a huge improvement from where we were.
Caesar returns to the Wilshire Boulevard Firehouse to check up on 16-week-old Wilshire the Dalmatian's progress.
Fantastic, Captain.
Just to have him without a leash and he's not running all around, and there are a lot of people here today.
Yeah.
We do a lot of school tours, and we teach the kids to stop, drop and roll, and put out the flames. We just thought it might be an excellent training aid to have Wilshire assist the firefighters.
Caesar rehabilitates dogs and trains people, not the other way around.
How you doing? Good.
To help teach Wilshire the new behaviors of stop, drop, and roll, he calls in Clint Rowell, who has over 40 years' experience training animals to star in major Hollywood movies.
There you go. So that's the beginning, huh?
Yeah, just so he associates.
He woke right up.
When you're training, your timing is crucial because the minute the animal does the behavior, you have to have some kind of a signal that says, that was good, reward's coming. Then he starts to understand, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. If you can just every time.
Clint uses positive reinforcement and clicker training, which includes rewarding the dog every time he performs a desired behavior. Since Wilshire is so young, Clint suggests they save the roll behavior for a future session, so as not to overwhelm him. But he also insists the firemen learn his new methods of reinforcing new positive behavior with the clicker.
He's a good dog. He'd make a great film dog, actually. The biggest issue is how consistent everybody is and how good everyone's timing is. That's pretty good. His point is not about dominance.
5 weeks later, the crew at Firehouse 29 gets ready for Wilshire to make his stop, drop, and roll debut at a local school.
I think we were more nervous than Wilshire because we were like, okay, we've done this thousands of times. We come to preschools and grammar schools, and all of a sudden we're going to introduce this dog, and we're like, how are we going to look? How is it going to come off? Hi, how are you? Good? What happens if during Halloween you have a costume and you walk by a candle and your clothes catch on fire? Do you know what to do?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Very good. There's a smart young lady in the front row. Our mascot, we call him Wilshire. He's going to come in and try to demonstrate stop, drop, and roll with you. Let's see if we can get him to do it.
Punch it.
Here we go.
Stop.
Drop. Roll.
Oh, let's give Wilshire a big hand. So even Wilshire knows how to stop, drop, and roll. I don't think this would have been imaginable a couple months ago, but awesome. This is exactly why we wanted a dog. I can't thank Caesar enough. I mean, he really structured us, and he wasn't training the dog, he was training us.
Do not help a dog that has so much potential like Wilshire. That would be a bad story.
Like that, very good.
So we are totally making Wilshire the ideal Dalmatian that is going to represent what Dalmatians should be.
You see what a wonderful asset he is.
Absolutely right.
And he's going to be an awesome addition to our family at 29s.
I don't want to crawl into that building and find that one lost kid. That's no fun for me. If we can do this and have them stay safe, that's what our job is. That's how I feel it is.
Yes, look, let me show you. See, it feels better.
I hope that the lesson, that we can learn from this is it takes a village to raise children, and it takes a village to raise a dog. And everybody's cooperating for the welfare of Wilshire, and Wilshire is going to pay back 1,000 times.
On this laid-back family range just outside Fort Worth, Texas, all is not as peaceful as it seems.
No!
Amy wanted to get a bulldog all of her life, and so she started looking in the paper to find one, and she found one for $400.
We were like, oh my gosh, it's cheap. What's the problem?
And so we went and looked at him, and he had been in a fight.
We took him to the vet, and they actually had to put him to sleep to shave his head. And there wasn't one place on Butch's body that did not have a wound or a sore on it because of the attack.
The Reeds had Butch thoroughly checked out by their vet, who gave him a clean physical bill of health.
I brought him home, had a wonderful dog for quite a while until he healed. You call him, he comes to you as long as it's on his terms.
He just doesn't like going into the kitchen for some reason. He would just start growling and biting. Butch, get it.
Get it.
Get in the kitchen.
No. Come on. And he used to ride around the golf cart with me all the time, and we had a good time. Then all of a sudden he decided that I wasn't allowed to be in the golf cart anymore.
It broke my heart because he's such a sweet dog, and then it's like, what has this dog become? Hey,
quit! Just one day I drug the hose out to put more water into his bowl, and he just went after it and wouldn't stop. The anger is just so overwhelming that you can't stop him. It's unbelievable.
I'm scared he's gonna bite me, and he hasn't bit me.
I have scars on my feet. I mean, he's brought blood.
Come on. I'm just scared.
If he bites Amy, it's not gonna be good.
I don't really necessarily blame Amy and my dad because we got him when he was almost 2. We weren't really able to mold him
On the Reed sprawling Texas property, there are a few other animals, all well behaved. Butch is the only one with problems.
We have tried everything that we know.
We have discussed giving him to the English Bulldog Rescue, someone who could possibly knows more and could handle him.
But he is our responsibility, and I love him to death. Whatever Caesar says to do, I will do it. We know that this is the last chance.
Texas is a long way from South Los Angeles, California. But for Caesar, distance means nothing when it comes to a family besieged by an angry, belligerent bulldog.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Come on in.
Oh, this is lovely. Texas style.
She wanted an English Bulldog.
Okay.
Is the way it worked. When we went and saw the dog, it was in a parking lot at a church. The dog was laying in the front seat, just torn up. We stepped back a minute, and I told Amy, I said, no. And, of course, she wanted it. So
my heart took over. He slept 20 hours out of the day, and we were like, this is cool. He just lays there and sleeps. And then he got better.
So when he finally woke up, what happened? What did you guys do?
Well, at first, we made a mistake. We let him get up on the couch and up in the chair and just do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But then as time goes on, it's like he took over more and more and more.
Easy. When people rescue dogs, they feel bad about what happened to them. But this is a great example of why it's important to put emotions aside, to put the past aside, because they see that as weakness.
No. Anything that's mine is his.
Oh.
No. I cannot. I can't go out in the yard and do anything. No. I can't rake. I can't use a shovel. I can't get up on a ladder. I can't drive in my golf cart. I can't mow.
So has he attacked anybody outside the family?
No, because we haven't allowed that.
I've always been hard on animals, okay? I expect them to do what I tell them to do. When we got this one, I changed the way I did things.
So when you were hard with the animals, what was the approach?
Actually, I've already started doing it. I've done it with him.
Yeah.
Hold them down, get on top of them, stare them eye to eye, stare them down. It doesn't. Every other dog I've ever owned, if you stare the dog, if you get the dog down, you pin his ears to the ground, and you stare him down, the dog will submit.
Yeah, but that's a different breed. The power that comes behind bulldog, pit bull, Presa Canario, the fighting breed.
Right.
They have an extra boost.
No. Exactly.
Yeah, it's an extra. That's where they can go into a zone where they don't feel the pain anymore. He's using the bulldog in him, which is way too powerful. So we have to make him dog so we can actually create the limits. And we can create submission.
Okay.
You follow?
Got it.
Because if you're trying to create submission in a fighting breed, it's not going to happen. They'd rather die, they surrender.
And he'd rather die than surrender, I can promise you.
Yeah. If you add pain, it only infuriates them.
Yes, it does.
To them, pain is that adrenaline rush.
Right.
They're looking forward for that. They're addicted to it. That's why they're such a great fighters.
Caesar begins the dog's rehabilitation by addressing Butch's refusal to obey inside the house.
Okay, and then what happens?
Well, let's get him settled down over here just a little bit. Come here, Richie. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
So this is the good side of him,
This is the good side of him. This is him being nice. Take him.
Yeah. Butch, come on. Hey, Butch. Come on, let's go. Come in the kitchen. Come on. Butch, come to the kitchen. Come on.
Yeah.
Butch, come on. Let's go. No. Butch, come on. Let's go to the kitchen.
No. Knock it off.
Butch.
Knock it off.
Hit
Knock it off.
Butts on this.
I'm gonna help you right here. Once he gets into that state, the best thing we can do is to wait a little bit so he can go back down. You know, if you keep pushing him when he's there, he's just gonna keep going up.
Okay.
You know, this harness thing is not gonna be the best. The harness is for two things. Harness is for pulling purpose and tracking purpose. It's not for control purpose.
Okay.
So it only makes him more powerful. That's why they do this.
Caesar substitutes a simple 35-cent leash placed at the top of the neck of Butch's formerly ineffective harness.
This is all front. This is all front. This is not so much aggression. This thing should not intimidate you. In order for him to move forward, he needs to be touched. Or he needs to be challenged. There we go. We want this. We want. Yeah, this is. There we go. This is what happened to a wild horse. There we go. The more you throw that, the better for. There we go. Right. This is all psychological right here. There. It's a bite right here. Look, boom, you bite. But you're not touching, you know, if you notice, I'm not like holding him tight or strong or like forceful or anything. You want him to calm down, but if you like hold him like this, see it? He
right, and that's what I was doing. Yeah, okay, now I see. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Once you understand the anatomy of a dog, you know, they have trigger points. They have places in the body that if you touch, you create a certain reaction. There you go. The key is right here. If you touch right here, this part of the neck right here,
right,
they can't get up.
Really?
So you don't need the whole body to. Look, this is holding the whole body. You have to also touch with a calm, assertive energy. You can't just put your finger in there and expect that this is going to happen.
Okay.
When you get on the top of them like that and hold them like this, they know that you don't know how to dominate.
Okay.
Because you're using body instead of the mind.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And see this whole, the red eye and all that stuff? That's rage. That's just pure rage. So what I needed to do for Butch is to help him to calm down, to relax it so you can see the white side of his eyes instead of just blood vessels. And this is what dogs do among each other.
I'm amazed that he's just laying there like that, because I mean he's never done this with me.
Yeah, because you're using a different energy.
Right, I'm going full force.
Yeah.
To try to subdue him.
This calms him down. This is healthy to them. You know, there you go. See, the hand that just dominated him, he's not biting.
Right.
Because I'm not after him getting fearful of me, angry at me. I just want him to calm down from my discipline ritual. That was a ritual, and that's what they do among each other. They pin each other down.
Come on, Butch. Let's go to the kitchen. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Good boy.
Through my experience and all these years working with dogs as bad as Butch, you know, this is as bad as it gets. They're looking forward for somebody to tell them what to do. But they can't express this back to us and say, look, just tell me what to do. Otherwise, I'm going to keep this state of mind on you, and I know you don't like it. I don't like it myself, but you're not leading me. Relax. There you go. It took a while? Of course it took a while. I am in front of a dog that is at the highest level of rage. So it's gonna take a while for us to tame that state of mind. He's not being a dog, he's being a gladiator. When they're in rage, they're not gonna breathe. They're just gonna stay like, right? That's why you can't feed tense energy. Especially with fighting breeds, you're gonna have these explosions over and over because there's no limits in their brain. Like a good bulldog, you know, he's gonna put up a fight. That's what they are, bulldogs. But we wanna create limitations. So once you create limitations, they don't longer live in that state. There you go.
Butchie, come on. Butch, come on. Let's go to the kitchen. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on, Butch.
And then he's going to associate the domination or discipline means you do whatever I say.
Right.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Right.
You know, dogs are not appliances. Dogs are not a television. You can't change a state of mind by pressing a button. You can't. You have to get up and make it happen.
Come on, Butch.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Just one. See, he growled less time.
Good boy.
You know, the response of it is automatic to him.
I'm impressed.
Good, man, because I travel far away
I'm glad
to impress you.
I am so happy.
But it's not about impressing you, it's about just sharing common sense, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just common sense.
Exactly.
The dog can be 10, 12, you can always change them back, because they always want to be balanced. He's not happy being unstable.
Right.
Once Caesar teaches the family how to handle Butch inside their home, they head for one of Butch's prized possessions, the garden hose.
I think it has worked a little bit so far, but I don't know if it's going to be fully fixed.
I said, I'm still waiting on him to bite Caesar.
No.
Hey. So that as you see, the corrections are not back, it's to the side. When I showed Chap about the hose, of course the ideal is to prevent for him to ever go into that, you know. But if it happens, which he will, this is what you can do. Now, how you normally make him let go?
Choke him.
Oh, see, what I'm doing is just putting this, your finger here and put a little pressure on it so he can release. That's what the brain does. It creates that.
You put his lip underneath his teeth and push up against his teeth?
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
See it? And that creates.
Okay, all right.
See how fast?
Yeah.
So, because if you start choking him, he holds on even stronger. Yeah. There you go. There you go. See it?
Okay, yeah. Absolutely.
But we're not done. We're not done.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I was glad about that one.
Yeah.
I was getting tired of choking him.
Yeah.
I thought about, you know, choking him, pulling it out of his mouth, whatever it took to make him let go. I never knew there was some type of reflex that they would let go when that happened.
See, now he's ignoring the wire hose, which is really good. See, that's the thing. Fight, flight, avoidance, submissions. We started with fight. They get to a point where they don't have more fight in them. They have to come up with something else. Very nicely.
Sit.
Very good. Huh? Now, are we gonna let him hold it? Let him hold it? Wait, I'll show you. Right here. Right here. There we go. There we go. Very good. That's okay. That's all right. That's because we let him hold. That's fine.
You okay?
I'm fine, man. I got bitten today because I went over the limit that he was able to resist. The more you keep him away from objects that he normally becomes territorial, dominant, or aggressive, the more you accomplish calm submission. But I wanted to push a little bit more. See, that was my mistake. So I don't have a problem making a mistake. That's how I learn. I make mistakes and then I learn. He's not gonna give it up without a fight. I'm fine. How many times Cowboy gets stepped on? Many times. I'm not a magician, so this is just
I know, but I'm so sorry that he bit you, because it's not just like bite.
It is a little bite. It's just a scratch. It's the way you want to see it. You can see it as a humongous bite. You can see it as a scratch. He doesn't mean to hurt anybody. He doesn't mean to hurt anybody. You can't take it as that guy is really bad. He hates people. We are getting into a state where we are blocking him from a vicious cycle. This is what they do. When you trap a crocodile, they don't just surrender. They put up a fight because their mind has gone into that wild state. And this is human-made, by the way. Rehabilitation, you can't stop. You can't stop. Human created that rage. They only develop that type of rage when they live with us, or when we mix and breed different type of breeds to create whatever we want. But that's not the integrity of a dog.
Next, Caesar, Chap, and Amy tackle one of Butch's most outrageous obsessions: his insistence on taking control of Chap's golf cart.
This is like your chance to regain the control.
He knows exactly what's fixing to happen.
Yeah. But see, he's already in that state, right?
Caesar physically challenges Butch in exactly the same way another bulldog would physically challenge him.
See what he's doing is that he's guarding the car, right?
Right.
I'm guarding my car. The touch, boom. It's like me chesting him back, bam, bam. Right. That's what bulldogs do. They chest each other back. Hey, that's a bite. The less closer he gets, the less powerful he becomes. The golf cart makes him powerful.
Right, right.
So I'm taking my time so I can defeat him in his game.
Right.
If you want to help somebody, you can put time on them. You can't put time on them if you want them to grow, if you want them to move on into a different state of mind. Especially with Mother Nature, they don't have clocks, they don't have, you know. Hey. So you can't really say, look, in 5 minutes you have to be ready because I have to look good on TV. Butch, come on, man. What I do create in my mind every single time is, this is what I'm going to accomplish. Whatever it takes, this is what I'm going to accomplish. But whatever it takes, humanely, you know, knowing that I have to stop, use a different strategy. I don't get caught up in just one way. This has to be the only way.
I can see where he's taking control of the animal right now. And I know it's repetition. So that's what I'm thinking about.
Make sure my pupil was cool when I challenge him. So it's a fair fight. It's a fair challenge. It's a fair rehabilitation. Now, the best way to cool down a dog is to put water on the chest. The chest part of it, when a dog cools himself down, they go and lay down on the water. They don't really put water on the top. You have to be careful with bulldogs because they get overheated.
Now that Butch is cool and relaxed, Caesar decides it's time to teach Chap how to take command of the golf cart.
Nope. There you go. There you go. Anything that is realistic and I created in my mind becomes reality. That's the power of intention. This way they see that you know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, how can they follow you? If you don't have a plan. You need to have a plan.
When I had Butch next to me in the golf cart, it really felt good. He wasn't barking and growling and doing things he had been doing in the past.
Caesar worked with Butch inside and outside the house for 3 hours to achieve these results. But Caesar emphasizes that it's not quantity but quality that matters when you're dealing with a dog.
It's beautiful.
I think today I use more of that spiritual side of me than I use my psychological side of me. I really have to bring a little bit more energy than my usual energy. One day just show you the possibilities. It doesn't change your life.
Well, Caesar, you're supposed to be a miracle worker.
I know, man. You didn't give me enough buffalo burgers, that's why. It was a lot of success.
Right.
This is, I think, is one of his worst enemies. I think repetitions of this day create what you really want.
Right.
Because it was repetitions of what you did before. They created a bigger monster.
Right.
We wanted Butch fixed. We wanted to know why he was the way he was. And we got it all answered. And Caesar gave us those tips and the tools to make sure that we'll be able to keep him. And we've got control of the dog. And the dog doesn't have control over us.
Quit crying.
Teamwork is critical when you're trying to rehabilitate unwanted behavior in a dog. And everyone on the team must remain consistent for your dog to get the message. The firefighters report that Wilshire is quickly becoming a perfect fire dog. You know, I'm so honored that these heroes who risk their life every day ask for my help. My pack and I want to thank you for saving humans' life and pets' life. Thank you. Butch is no longer attacking the golf cart. More importantly, Amy is no longer afraid of Butch and is finally feeling empowered. Remember, being a pack leader is a 24-hour-a-day job. I'm Cesar Millan. Thanks for joining me here on the National Geographic Channel.